Seeing how fake this world is and understanding it was probably just invented and the possibilities. There's no dinosaurs out, but we can play with the weather and move the sun. My grandma looked like a man and had no husband, as far as I know. There was a picture of some person in 1940 that she had children with. But I know for a fact that these other people she had children with were part of a computer network. One of the three people she gave children to, life to, birth to, whatever, told me on his deathbed the most important thing I will ever know. And it is, this world is bullshit. And I don't know what he mean. I would like to stab him in the throat for not explaining that to me, but he's dead now, so he doesn't get to suffer anymore. Um, but he told me that with conviction, and it's like I understand. You don't have to tell me, but when you do, it cements the reality that even on your deathbed, a person can understand that this is an illusion. And so my grandma looked like Howard Stern. She had like no tits. She had like like a wide spread, like a man. Like you can't even see my shit. Fucking, I can't even spread it. Fucking, because I just can't reach that far and still do it. And it makes me wonder because these people talk about this, they promote that, and they push it forward. Obviously, it's appeared in the time I've been here, and they also they have a hard time coming up with new words and new ideas. Once upon a time, someone said something about creating God through chemical, like fake breeding, um, through a fake womb and shit like that. And I have no proof I was born in a hospital. My memories, my memories are fucking weird. It's almost like they start in 1986. I have like two pictures, like a visual novel before, so I don't consider those realistic as far as what I can believe in. Like everyone talking to me about I was a baby. My dad wouldn't say shit. Like it's weird. I talked to him and he was just like, he's like looking the other way. But everyone else is a fucking liar, I know. My brother never said that shit. I feel like he might be a plant to make me think that there's a good person on earth because he just didn't talk. And there's two people didn't talk, and there's only two people I don't really have a mountain of evidence on. Um, so it makes me wonder, um, like this. How do you know the story here? You think the Italians conquered the world, and you don't give a shit that they've enslaved you, or like, you're retarded. Like you don't exist if you don't care that they've enslaved you. Like seriously, you are cattle or sheep, right? But my grandma like kind of showed no signs of being a woman. She was like violent and um sat around and did nothing. That was for their time. That's what I seen them do back in the day. And but she looked like a man. That sticks with me. It's like because I have one of those memories forced in me where she shows me a picture and she's like, I was a model, and it's like the most terrifying thing I can ever think of and shit. It's just like it's like I'm being stabbed in my head. Okay, so around that time, I had someone hold a knife to my neck, say they're gonna kill me. I fucking seen visions of like King of like a god, not Godzilla, but the monkey dude, King Kong, like climbing up my house and fucking looking at me like he's gonna kill me. And I had people doing all sorts of shit, drugging me and all sorts of shit. And one thing that sticks out amongst all those beautiful things is that this person would talk to me about losing their tits, and then so that makes, you know how their people are, the Howard Sterns are. She's like Howard Stern, but she said she was a woman. You know how their people are. They talk about fucking dick and tits because they want you to think about it so they can finally get some and shit. 24 fucking 7 and shit. They just don't shut the fuck up about it. So she would talk about that, and it would be like weird because the story around it, like, ooh, pedos in Hollywood, and I was a fucking model, and all this shit, and like it's like, bro, it's like the worst memory I think I might have had the first half of my life, and I got like, you know, hit a wall at like fucking 40 plus miles per hour. Who knows? Because some losers think fucking I'm looking at the speedometer while I'm being punched in the face. 20, it was 25. I couldn't, you know, it takes a retard not to understand how a car works. But they have these people saying this shit. And it's like, that's like the worst thing ever. It's like, why are you talking about your tits? I don't want to hear about that shit. Like, that's disgusting. Like, yeah. And so one day I happened to notice, like, the bitch without her shirt on. And it was like a man without a nipple on one side. And I'm like, okay. And then so we moved on. But with everything going on here, you know what? Some people have dropped the idea that God is a fucking genetic creation, and they've like resurrected the fucking DNA of God when they do this shit, and they're telling you they do that today, right? They make fake babies today, which means they were doing it at least 20 years ago, which is what they tell you, which means they were probably doing it long before that. And it makes me wonder. It's like, you know, I got no, I'm not like, it's my vagina. I can't talk bad about my vagina. I'm a cuck. I don't know what that shit's like. I'd be like, well, this is what it looks like, and this is what's happening, and this is how it's been. And that's the way it will be, and it will always be. And it makes me wonder, was this motherfucker like a robot trans or something? Like, it looks suspect and shit. It looks, because I'm whatever's happening here, and they do have one story of that. And it's like, so where do I come from? You know, they got this story of people being inserted into wombs when they aren't pregnant type shit. But you know what? One thing I also notice is if it's a step away, you don't really notice it. Like if you're the second step away from a clone or a robot, the story seems real. You know, if you're born directly to like something that was just created yesterday, it might throw off red flags a lot faster. It's like, oh, I don't know who my parents are. Go, oh, Jesus and Santa Claus type shit. Fucking but that bitch looked like a man, and came with a lot of programming too, like don't judge people by their looks. So like, I'm Satan right now because I'm like, that bitch looked like a man. Like, I couldn't say it when I was a kid because Jesus would punch my teeth out of my face if I said like, ew, that's disgusting. I don't find that attractive. But Jesus's people was like, you must love it. You must enjoy it. It's a man, but it's dressed like it has no makeup. It has long hair. You must wash its feet. And she was, you know, like I say that because she was those creatures. And, you know, as long as this plays out, we're going to assume that it's a fucking game on me. And we're just going to keep going there. I know, like, ever since her, it's been, I'm going to punch you in the mouth and knock your teeth out and everything short of stabbing you to death, which I think they've tried and they haven't done yet. You know, like drugging you for decades is like definitely murder attempts over and over and shit, which she was part of and shit. So, along with child pedophile mutilation rituals, which obviously they're all the Jesus people are involved in and shit. Fucking, not all, but like the nation I come from, and so I don't give a shit what you think about your little happy, safe space, overprivileged area you get to live in or whatever. Fucking, I think maybe the story. You see, I've come to where I'm at because I understand and I see, and I don't deny what I see. But this is like a loose end here we don't have. I've studied like this whole trans thing, and it's like they're people, and then they be showing up looking like a man in a dress. So online, it's weird seeing someone who looks like that because they're probably making it up because they wish they could look like that because they wish they could get some man to touch them. And it's like that's what I think of when I think of that bitch. It's like you wish a man would touch you and shit. But it's like for some reason in the storyline it shows me and it talks to me about that. It's like check it out. Even with its nipple removed, it still looks like a man on both sides. And it's like disgusting. I'm 6 years old. I'm not really into women yet, but like her words set a tone for my level of expectations. It's like, wow, fucking a man with his titty removed who says it's a woman. That's why I should be dating. And then they take me to the homosexual pedophile palace. Well, I'm born in it at the hospital, and then they mutilate and rape me there. And then they take me to the other church, not the hospital, but the other church. And they do that. And then her people send my supposed, in the story they make up, they send my supposed parents to go kill themselves. So I can be left alone with the homosexual pedophile predator, transsexual. But anyways, so think about this. Like, we're only like 8 steps away from figuring out what the robots won't tell us. So they have said once or twice that they're creating God in a lab and they're going to create like this super being. And like, I understand that that's, in the video game, but the video game lore, the visual novel game my ass. There ain't no game here. This is all a boring ass visual novel written by someone like, you're trapped in it if you're living fucking, and you'll notice no one else is doing shit fucking but trapping you in it. So it's like a strict rail base type shit fucking. But anyways, so the bitch looked like a man. And I have no proof it was a woman. I definitely wasn't going to touch it. Or I don't know how you do that once it's had its genitals chopped off. And thankfully, I didn't get to see any of that to make an accurate measurement of, wow, this looks like a man, not a woman. But I do know in their story, like they're like robot parasites. And they're hostile versus living beings, and they're trying to enslave and control them and direct them into their storylines so they can further enslave and control anything that's living. Yeah. All I know is the bitch looks like a man, and people like that should be removed from the dating pool. They shouldn't be having kids and then ditching the kids and the other thing and then having more kids and ditching that thing and having more. Like Elon Musk and Donald Trump, they kind of look like American women, don't they? The one looks like a melted blob of orange. Very American, female, and then the one looks like a rat. And that's like real close to my grandma, like I said. Like, when I seen Howard Stern, I was like, oh shit, grandma, is that you? And my grandma died. And it's like, Oh shit, that is you, Grandma. Like you possess a new soul. You're over here talking about having sex with dogs and shit. That's you, motherfucker. You over here talking about vagina. I wish I could have a touch. I wish I could have a man touch me. And it's like, that's exactly how I'd feel if I was in your body. I'd be like, ooh, let's get him naked and see if they'll touch me. Let's spend billions of dollars to see if they'll touch me. And the bitch talked to me about Hollywood, too. The bitch was like, they're predators. They give you candy and they bait you into tricks and deceive you. And then she'd be like, would you like some candy? The flying reindeer is coming. And the flying reindeer of the Pope and Elon Musk is coming. And the NASA and the Santa Claus. And it's like, man, but you can't tell. It's like, what is Howard Stern? Right? That's supposed to be. You listen to Rush. The first time I heard Rush, every time I heard Rush, I was like, man, that girl needs to learn how to fucking sing. That shit just ruins the whole song. And then someone told me one day as a man, and I'm like, oh, I guess that's okay. Fucking, I guess that changes shit. And then I learned, like, that's my grandma. My grandma's the lead singer for Rush. And I'm like, what? You sound and act like a man and look like a man. How the fuck is you my grandma? Is you my grandpa? Oh, grandpa never existed. Oh. Oh, he died. Oh, some liars. Santa Claus tell me he died. And he used to exist. Oh, Santa Claus told me. Yeah, he showed up in some. He was like, son, best believe Miss Santa is real and them flying reindeers. And also, your grandma used to have a grandpa, and they had a baby, and he died. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you, Santa Claus. Can you find someone else to talk to? Because you seem like a pedophile. You got any candy? And they're like, oh, yeah, we got the candy. And I was like, yeah, you definitely seem like a pedophile. I don't carry around candy, and I eat candy all the time, motherfucker. The candy's gone if I eat candy. If I'm carrying around candy, I eat it. But if a pedophile's carrying it around who don't like the taste of candy and trying to bait someone with it, then the candy will not be gone. Shit, those are facts, aren't they? Fucking. So does this bitch look like a man? Because she's like a test tube baby, too. You see, it would take like one or two separations to really distance a clone from a test tube to make them think they're real. Because you got to realize, like, as observant as I am, I'd be like, I didn't have no parents. I grew up in a science lab. I woke up in a data center one day, but tell me this bitch ain't a fucking man. And I ain't a test tube second generation.